Welcome. This is an animated podcast brought to you by U of S nursing students, Alyssa,
Sierra,
Emily, and Kelsey.
In this podcast, we are going to share some facts on Greenland, as well as talk about some health issues that are prevalent there, specifically health access and infant mortality. So here we go.
Greenland is located between northern Canada and the Danish territories, and it's the biggest island in the world.
Nuuk is the capital of Greenland, which is comprised of most of Greenland's population. Being so far north, Greenland only receives daylight 2 months of the year.
And did you know that 81% of Greenland is covered in ice? And because Greenland is so isolated, the towns and villages can only be accessed by boat, aircraft, or dog sled. This can make access to healthcare a real challenge.
From an ethic perspective, this isolated lifestyle, in addition to limited hours of daylight, may be contributing factors to why their suicide rate is so high.
Also, only the strip around the coastline is inhabited, and was first inhabited by the Inuit people 4,000 to 5,000 years ago.
Further down the road, in 1721, Danish missionaries came to Greenland to colonize the people to a Lutheran faith, which the majority of Greenlanders practice today.
Currently, Greenland is a province still under the reign of the Kingdom of Denmark.
However, in 2008, the Self-Government Act was put in place as Greenland wanted to increase their independence from Denmark. Even so, Denmark still has control of foreign affairs, defense, and a portion of their economy.
Denmark contributes 2/3 of budget revenue, while the other 1/3 comes from fishing and mining directly from Greenland.
Greenland is considered a high-income country due to its growing tourism, as well as the resources which attract foreign investment. Fish make up 90% of its exports, as well as minerals and energy.
Even though Greenland is considered a high-income country, their average income is only $33,000, with 16.2% of the population being below the poverty line in 2015. From a Canadian ethic perspective, Greenland's average income seems like it would be challenging to live off of, as Canada's average income is considerably higher at $50,000.
Greenland does not have its own GNP as it is under Denmark. However, it does have a GDP, which is $2.22 billion US, and 9.2% of this is spent on healthcare.
As of 2017, the population of Greenland was just 57,713. This population is made up of primarily Greenlandic Inuit, with the remaining being Danish.
Similarly, the official Inuit language, Kalaallisut, and Danish are the predominant languages.
Inuit is the government of Greenland. It has a parliamentary democratic political system currently represented by Prime Minister Kim Kielsen.
The healthcare system is the responsibility of the government, which is publicly funded through taxpayer dollars. This is similar to Canada's healthcare system.
Although universal healthcare exists, not everyone is able to access it. When the people are able to access a clinic, they may not be able to receive care from a person with formal health education, unless traveling to larger clinics like that in Nuuk, Greenland's capital.
Greenland lacks special services and has a high turnover rate of healthcare professionals. This has a negative impact on the population due to limited continuity in care.
The Inuit have a unique view of health that differs from Western medicine.
From an emic perspective, the body is seen by the Inuit in close relation to the environment, interpersonal relationships, and relations to the deceased and spirits.
Emphasis is on the soul, mind, and body. This is similar to the Hmong, who also believe health is a balance between spirit and body, and that health depends on the souls living within each person.
Spiritual healing rituals and the use of shamans are common with both the Hmong and the Inuit. Hmong use the traditional herbal treatments with Western medicine, while the Inuit use animal and insect substances for healing practices.
From a Western medicine ethic perspective, it can sometimes be challenging to accept certain traditional beliefs that Greenlanders may have about their health.
Now, here are some health stats for Greenland.
The life expectancy for men is 69.7 years and 75.2 years for women.
For 1,000 people, there are only 1.73 doctors and 8.2 hospital beds.
The death rate is 8.7 out of 1,000 population.
The current birth rate is 14.4 births per 1,000 people. In 2016, the population growth was negative 0.02%, meaning the birth rate is low and is not high enough to maintain the population, which is why it's expected that within the next couple decades, the population is only going to decrease.
Greenland is faced with many health challenges. Some of these include high rates of suicide, child abuse, abortion and accidents, high rates of infectious diseases such as tuberculosis, increasing rates of diabetes, low oral health, contaminated traditional diet, and high infant mortality rate.
High infant mortality rate is a concerning health issue because infant mortality is one of the greatest indicators of the health of a population or community.
Currently, the infant mortality rate is an alarming 9 deaths per 1,000 births. This is greatly due to the sparse geographics, lack of trained professionals, prolonged transportation time to hospitals and clinics, and limited prenatal care.
This rate is almost double that of Canada's, which suggests that there is room for improvement in health access and services available to Greenland. Physical access to healthcare is also one of Greenland's major issues due to its sparse geographical layout.
Greenland's central hospital is situated in Nuuk. Dronning Ingrid's Hospital consists of only 190 beds for the whole province. The main tertiary referral hospital is in Copenhagen, Denmark, which is at least 6 to 7 hours away.
The Hmong also experience barriers to healthcare access, which lead to higher infant mortality rates. This is due to lack of education, communication barriers, and fears surrounding Western medicine stemming from misunderstandings and mistrust of medical professionals.
Similar to the Greenlandic population, there is also limited or no prenatal care. The Hmong of Minnesota had infant mortality rates of 6.1% between 2005 and 2008. This challenge, however, has improved in the Hmong communities due to increased knowledge and utilization of Western medicine through education, as well as decreased language barriers compared to the new immigrant Hmong population in the 1980s.
From Hmong emic perspective, physical access to health services may not be an issue compared to the Greenland, since they usually treat illnesses in their own home. Other challenges that are more social include unemployment, alcoholism, and HIV and AIDS.
Greenland is working to address these health challenges through a public health program called Inuit 2, which is a revised version from the 2007 program. This program focuses on hashish and alcohol abuse, smoking awareness, ensuring healthy eating habits, increasing physical activity in the public, and mental health.
In summary, access to health for the Greenlandic people plays a huge role in aspects of health, including infant mortality and mental health and suicide. Despite this, initiatives have been started to address these disparities.
That's all, folks. We hope you have enjoyed this podcast and learned something about Greenland and its people.